The Sims 4 has finally given us fairies, and now that the new Enchanted by Nature expansion pack has dropped, I can't wait to build. We're going to have a look at some of the new build and buy mode items, and I'm going to share some with you that I personally am the most excited about. I thought it would be really fun as we're looking at these items to imagine some of the whimsical, magical, maybe slightly offbeat builds that we could create. So let me know in the comments section which one you'd like me to recreate first. Thank you so much to everyone who watched my first video. Truly, I really appreciate so many of you showing up. If you like this kind of cozy, whimsical build and you'd like to see more, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. And as a thank you for subscribing, here's a picture of a baby hedgehog. Okay, let's jump in. I have something to confess. When I saw the new gnome statue that basically looks like Gandalf, I almost cried. Gandalf is honestly my favorite character in anything ever, so this was a really big deal to me. We also got another couple of cute little gnome statues in this game, and in case you didn't gather by the giant gnome statue in the middle of the new world, gnomes are a pretty big deal in Enchanted by Nature. We have got some serious gnome lore going on here. So it seemed only right that we created a build inspired by the gnomes, and I thought, how funny would it be to create a cute little row of gnome houses going down a street. Now, full disclosure, your Sims can't actually play as gnomes in the same way that they can play as fairies. We have to use our imagination a little bit here. But I just thought this was too good to pass up. What about if each roof was shaped like one of their little gnome hats, like really long and pointy? What about if they had their own Gnome Home Owners Association? That's really hard to say. Gnome Home Owners Association, a Gnome Owners Association, if you will. They could argue back and forth about what color the roof should be. Maybe one gnome thinks it should be red, like their favorite mushroom, while another gnome insists that purple is the height of gnome sophistication in 2025. It's basically the Desperate Housewives of gnome neighborhoods. To really lean into the gnome theme of this street, I'm imagining that we could line it with glowing mushrooms instead of streetlights, and maybe instead of a pavement we could have mossy stepping stones. Now technically I know this is three things, but I'm going to class them as one thing under the umbrella of surfaces. We've got these mossy walls and moss covered floors and new green roofs in the game. They could basically transform any cottage into a mossy fairy hideaway. Now to me this just screams plant sim retreat. In case you didn't know, plant sims have been hiding in the base game since like forever. But with the new Enchanted by Nature pack, they're going to get their own mini overhaul. Now, I don't want to get expectations up too high here. They're not on the same level of fairies is my understanding. But I've always felt like plant sims just deserve so much more love. So I thought it would be really fun to create a lush, overgrown sanctuary that just feels tailor-made for them. Oh my god, you guys, imagine walking around barefoot on those mossy floors. Now, this one might ruffle a few fairy wings because it's not strictly a build or buy mode item, I know, but lean into it for a moment with me. I'm thinking we take those new fairy wings from Cass and we use them as build inspiration. Picture this, we could build a giant fairy apartment complex where each apartment is styled after the fairy's wings and personality. We could have a grumpy, mossy mushroom fairy living right down the corridor from a techno disco fairy who lives right above a flirty fairy. It's giving two things. It's giving fairy sitcom and it's giving fairy reality TV show. We have these new wobbly organic windows, doors and arches in the game, and they are giving full on Hobbit hole vibes. But if you'll indulge me, let's go a little weirder. Imagine, if you will, a slightly unhinged and totally unlicensed forest apothecary. If we're going to stay in the world of Lord of the Rings, and I totally think we should, think less Hobbit vibes and more Radagast the Brown energy. I don't know about you, but I always feel like I need to make my windows the exact same height on the wall when I'm building, and these wibbly wobbly windows are totally giving us permission, as if we needed it, to throw out the rulebook. I think it would be so much fun to throw caution to the wind and to place these windows at completely random heights around our walls. And maybe we could place these cool doors in unexpected spots, like a secret side entrance for mysterious nighttime time pickups. These arches could be used to create a hidden alcove, maybe to hide her secret stash of whatever she's got going on there. And maybe we could have a little mossy herb garden on the roof. Oh my goodness, these new bookshelves, they're basically leafy tree trunks with books sprouting out of them like leaves. I'm honestly obsessed with these. I think these are so good. These actually give me an idea for 2 builds. The first one is a big, magical, whimsical children's library filled with bookshelves shaped like trees, cozy reading corners with fairy lights, mushroom toadstools, cozy soft rugs. And the good thing about these new items is they give us the freedom to choose whether we go with a pastel forest vibe or whether we lean into the richer, darker color schemes. I just love all the potential here. We could maybe incorporate some of those arts and crafts tables that we had in the game already. I think they would be perfect for this space, and I think it's so nice to give your Sims just a few more activities to do when they're on a lot. Maybe we could combine it with a coffee shop, so while the children are having a cute little fantasy story time, the parents can catch up on the local gossip around a cup of coffee. My second idea for the bookshelves might be a little bit harder to create, but no less worthwhile. What about if we created a secret fairy library? Maybe they could collect their forbidden spell books and press flower journals, I don't know. But just imagine how funny it would be if your normal Sims stumbled upon this in a forest. I imagine this being really tranquil and peaceful, but honestly, still a bit of a hub. Your spellcaster Sim could maybe drop by for a bit of inspiration, or maybe your newly revamped plant Sim could turn up just to say hi. I feel that this one build alone could become the heart of a whole fairy neighborhood storyline. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in this whimsical Sims build brainstorm. If you enjoy this type of content and you'd like to see what I build next, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the fairy woods next time.